Hello, everyone. My name is Abby Williams, and today I'll be presenting to you my IP, an animated series concept titled The Shadows in the Trees. This story is about a land far different from ours, and yet very much the same, following a group of magical mythical outcasts who join together on a journey to the other side of their land to find a mysterious warlock that might be able to help them find the pieces they believe they are missing from themselves. The setting of The Shadows in the Trees takes place on a magical continent called Green, which is divided into many kingdoms of various intelligent and magical life forms, similar to Lord of the Rings or Adventure Time. The primary species being, but not limited to, humans, elves, witches, and giants. Humans have conquered in the east, and the elvish kingdoms border them on the west. But the farther west you go, the deeper you go into the more mysterious and uncharted parts of Green. Now, this is a very character-focused series, so I'll be going through each of the characters and their journeys from the western side to the eastern side of Green. And why? So the first character we meet is Lee, and she's the first one that decides to venture out on her own. She is half human, half witch, and she is burdened by an unknown curse passed down down to her by her absent warlock father. And she finally musters up the courage to leave her home to travel to find him and help her find a cure. Next, we meet Henry, a rock giant, who is trapped inside a giant rock-covered body and in a mind that does not quite understand the way everyone else seems to think or act because he doesn't see anyone around him that are similar to him. Pushed out of his shell by his desire to belong somewhere, he follows behind his adoptive sister Lee to try and find somewhere where he really comes from and he can find people that look like him. Prince Daniel is the next person we meet on this journey. He is a human, and he has been on his own for nearly a decade since running away from his father, who infected his entire family with the curse of turning what they touch to gold because of his greed. Daniel gets by, but spiritually he's lost and alone, and he wants to finally stop running from his past, so he joins Lee to find a cure for his curse as well. Aethelwyn is the next character we meet, and she is an elf. And she was kicked out of her strict traditionalist household because elves are very traditional for her fiery personality and her unwillingness to hide her non-conforming views about the world. She joins Lee and the gang to search for a more accepting and free-thinking family, which she finds in them. This picture of Aethelwyn also features Lee's trusty best friend and the fluffiest dog in all the land, Bug the dog, because everybody knows that when you need a little bit of courage, dogs are always there to lend a helping paw. Bello is the next character we meet, and he is a demon born into a human family. So he has been ostracized and bullied by his community until he can take it no longer, and he flees into the night, where he happens upon Lee and friends along the way. He hopes to find a cure for what he thinks to be a demon's curse, but he eventually finds out is just him, and that's okay. River is our final character we meet, and he is half elf and half human. And he has been forced to move into a cottage in the woods outside the boundaries of the elf territories once he grew too large to accommodate within them. He helps the travelers find shelter in his cottage and resources as they venture farther from their home and into the forest where River lives. The themes of the story that I want to portray are love yourself as you are, regardless of society's views of you. There's a family out there for everyone, even if you have to go find it. And the journey out of your shell and into the unknown is scary, but ultimately worth it because you will grow and learn more than you ever thought possible if you just stayed where you were comfortable. The audience that would be intended for The Shadow in the Trees would be young adults aged 16 to 35, because that's about the age range of the main characters. They're all in their early 20s and late teens, and these would be the people that would relate most to their story. And it would also focus on more mature themes. The platform that I think would best suit this series would be a streaming service like Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon Prime, because these platforms have supported series that have more mature themes and young adult audiences, such as BoJack Horseman. So I think that this series could have good success there as well. Thank you for listening.